My name is Ross. I run an education company. I'm a British weightlifting champion. I create content for 4 different social media platforms. I work out 5 days a week. I'm trying to do all of that whilst also coaching, spending time with friends and family, reading books, listening to podcasts, educating myself, building skills, writing, editing, eating right, trying to grow my business, and getting 8 hours of sleep every night can be hard. So obviously I need a system to help me be as productive as possible. And look, I'm a strong believer in the Pareto principle, where 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. And I've incorporated that into my productivity system. So unlike a lot of people, I'm not going to give you a pile of crap that I don't actually do. Instead, I'm going to show you my exact 3-part productivity system, which allows me to make more progress towards my goals by 10 a.m. each morning than most people make in a week. And part number 1 is behavioral habits and lifestyle. This here is the foundation. If your habits and lifestyle are crap, your productivity will be crap, your energy will be crap. You need these foundations if you want to get anything done. And it's really not that hard. There are 4 things which need to be your priority. Step 1 is to make sure that you get 7 to 9 hours of high quality sleep each night, and preferably at least 8 hours. When you slack on sleep, everything falls apart. You will suffer in terms of your health, your mood, your cognitive functions, your strength, and your productivity. And look, a lot of high quality sleep comes down to, again, 4 simple things. So the first thing you want to do is every morning when you wake up, go outside and get some sunlight. This will help set your circadian rhythm and also boost your energy and make you feel awake. You want to cut out caffeine 10 hours before bed because of how it affects your adenosine system. And even if you think you can go to sleep straight after downing an espresso, you might be able to get to sleep, but it's going to ruin the quality of your sleep. You also want to cut out bright light and blue light 1 hour before bed, because bright light and blue light limits melatonin production, which is pretty much the sleep hormone. And then for the icing on the cake, you want to go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time each morning. Your sleep is dictated by a circadian rhythm. It's a rhythm that wants to stay in rhythm. Hence, you need to be consistent. Which brings us to step 2, nutrition. You want to make sure that your nutrition is on point. You are what you eat, okay? Like, I'm not going to tell you what diet to follow or anything like that. I'll let you make that choice. But you need to be aware that if you eat crap, you will feel crap. And if you feel crap, your productivity is going to be crap. So you need to eat clean whole foods and prioritize your protein intake. If you're not getting 1 pound of protein per pound of body weight, you're not going to be recovering optimally, so you'll not be able to get as much done as possible. And protein is incredibly important if you're training, which is step 3. You need to be lifting weights around 3 to 5 times per week. Despite what people who don't work out think, working out actually increases your energy. It doesn't decrease it. It also helps stave off burnout because it releases a cocktail of feel-good neurotransmitters which help recover your nervous system, and you'll get jacked, you'll get strong. It's a win-win all round. And because you get more jacked and because you get stronger, your self-confidence increases, which will carry over into your work and allow you to be more productive. And finally, step 4 is to stop drinking alcohol. Alcohol is a poison. It ruins your sleep quality, your recovery, and even if you feel fine, it takes you at least a few days, if not a whole week, to recover, and by which point it's a weekend and most people are drinking again. It's a never-ending cycle where you're never performing at your best. It ruins your cognitive functions and your productivity. Plus, the people that you're drinking with are not the sort of people you want to hang around with. They're not the sort of people that are going to be motivating you and pushing you to do better and improve your life. So look, cut out drinking alcohol, and I promise you, you will not regret it. This first part of my productivity system is all about energy optimization, and it will allow you to go into part 2, the get shit done system, and be more productive than you could ever dream of, because this is how you decide what you need to do and when you need to do it. And the first thing you need to do here is set your goals. So choose a meaningful goal, and if you want to maximize your chances of achieving it, you need to make sure that it meets 3 criteria. You need to make sure that it's reasonably unreasonable. So it's big and it'll be fucking tough. It will require your all to complete it and achieve it, but it's not impossible. This way you actually have some level of motivation and inspiration to chase it. You also want to make sure that it is specific and with a deadline. So instead of setting the goal of losing weight, you set the goal of losing 20 pounds in 20 weeks. This will be important in the next step. And then you want to know your why. Why this goal? You could have set any goal, but you chose this one. Why this goal? You need to know this, because when it gets tough, and trust me, it will, you'll quit because you have no reason to push yourself. You have no reason to keep going. But when you know your why, you know this reason, you know why you want this goal. You have a reason to keep going. Once you know your goal and it meets these criteria, you need to know what levers to pull in order to achieve it. This is step 2, and it's exactly why your goal needs to be specific and with a deadline, because if it's not, you will fail to complete this step. So what you need to do is get your goal and break it down into a daily action, because here's something that might blow your fucking mind. Productivity is not about how many hours you work. Productivity is about working on the right things for you and your goals and ignoring everything else. So if you really want to be productive, all you have to do is guarantee with no excuse that you get this daily action done every damn day. If you want to build something great, if you want to achieve your goals and be productive, this daily action is all that matters. So get your goal. Let's say it's a 1-year goal. Break it down into a quarterly goal, and then into a monthly goal, and then a weekly goal, and finally your daily action. This daily action is what you focus on and prioritize every single day. Now, to get that daily action done whilst also having all of your life going on, you can't just wing it. You need to plan your day. Now, I plan my day in an A6 notebook. I write down my main tasks first, then I write down all the good self-improvement habits such as working out and reading, and then I write down all the life stuff such as grocery shopping. And then in the order I write them down, I schedule them into my day, assigning something to every hour and making sure I get my daily action, my number 1 priority, done first thing. It is the priority. The longer you leave it to complete it, the less likely you are to get it done. So get it done first thing in the morning as soon as you wake up. Which brings us to the next step of part 2. You need to do your daily action in a state of deep focus and flow. If you want to smash your goals, your daily action needs to be done to the highest of your abilities, to your best standards, which requires flow and deep focus. Now, I have a completely free flow and focus course which teaches you everything about how to get into flow and deep focus, as well as going into more detail on how I plan my day. It will be linked in the description below, so check that out. So in part 1 of this productivity system, you build your foundations. In part 2, you create what you need to actually be productive. But what if you just don't get it done? What if every time you sit down to work you procrastinate and you can never do the work? Well, then you can't be productive. So part 3 is the anti-procrastination matrix. If you do part 1 and you do part 2 but you just can't do the work for whatever excuse you have, part 3 is your savior. The first technique of part 3 is the Jerry Seinfeld technique. So when you plan your day and you sit down to do the work, you give yourself 2 options. You can either sit down and do the work, or you can sit there and do nothing. No phone, no scrolling the internet, no conversations. You sit there and you stare at a wall. And the idea here is not to punish yourself if you choose to stare at the wall. That's fine. That's one of your options. You're allowed to do that, so long as you don't do anything else. But if you do this and you sit down and you stare at the wall for 5 minutes, I guarantee you that you will start working. You will want to work. And especially when you combine this with technique 2, you will always choose to be productive. The second technique is to understand the importance of the task to your goals and dream life. So first off, if you don't know what your dream life is, figure it out. Get clear on what you want, and then everything you do, every goal you set, every task you complete, every decision you make can guide you towards that dream life. But think about this. You want to achieve your dream life, right? You want to achieve your goals, right? Your daily action is the only way you can do that, because your daily action is the exact thing you need to do every single day that over time adds up to you achieving your goals and therefore your dream life. This daily action is non-negotiable if you want to achieve your goals and build something great. When you sit down to do the work, or when you sit down and you struggle to do the work, understand the importance of this task to your fucking goals. If you're not lying to yourself about what you want, you'll get the work done. Which brings us to technique 3, and likely the most important technique. It's distraction management. Look, everyone knows they need to remove distractions when they sit down to work. Everyone knows it, but barely anybody does it. So before every work block, turn your damn phone off. You have no excuse and no reason to have it on when you're working. If you keep it on during your work block and you get distracted even once, it is your fault that you are where you are in life and that you never make progress. So before every work block, turn your phone off, turn on an app and website blocker, and get into a room alone where you can put your head down for 90 minutes and get the work done. Don't be one of these people who convince themselves that they don't need to remove distractions. You're not fucking special. None of us are. We're all addicted to these dopamine devices we call phones. So when it comes to work, manage your distractions by removing them. And that, my friend, is my 3-part productivity system that allows me to make more progress by 10 AM each morning than most people make in a week. And it's really because I understand what productivity is. All that matters is that you get your daily actions done every damn day. So build your foundations and optimize your energy in part 1. Figure out what you need to do and when you need to do it in part 2. And then guarantee you do it with part 3. I promise you that if you use this system every single day for the next 2 years, you will change your life. How can I say that? Well, because it changed mine. So click subscribe and I will see you in the next video.